Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. I'm murderous. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I'm a member of the local Catholic Christian community. Praise the Lord. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is in the house. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you, Mr. Monker. As always, it is a pleasure to be here with you on Freedom March.
So how has been your morning?
Well, the morning has been pretty good. A lot of noise around town.
You're hearing things
over Donald Trump's comments.
Well, that is because the Negro leadership is extremely ignorant. And they do not understand what is taking place.
What does that have to do with his comments, though, Mr. Monker?
But today, we will look at the judiciary. An acting Chief Justice, well, some of the things he had to say. An Attorney General who brags that there has not been too many Nolle. And then, of course, a retired old woman, a former Chief Justice and President of the Court of Appeal, Dame Joan Sawyer, getting in serious man them business. The Prime Minister is right, and he should proceed to keep his word and expunge the records. I look at the call to expunge records and to show you how ignorant many of our people are, because the law governing the expungement of criminal records has been in effect perhaps over 30 years, introduced and implemented by Pinling and the Progressive Liberal Party. So all this talk about expunging records is folly talk. And it demonstrates how dumb most of our leaders are. I mean, it's dumb. Goodness of mercy. What's wrong with y'all? Can't you examine the law? And then, of course, I'm going to show you how the Attorney General, Carl Bettel, notwithstanding that he has been to London and he's English trained in the law, he has curly hair, he has color, and he's smart. Yet, oh boy, they're so disappointing, man. But somebody sit down and read the law and analyze the situation and speak intelligently. Boy, I'm disappointed in y'all. Anyway, who knows? Today, I may play law professor and teach, you know, some law. I don't know. I'm just tired of y'all. I am just tired of how my people them continues to get it wrong. Today, I'm going to look at the system. I'm going to look at the call to expunge records and to show you how the PLP has the mechanism in place. This is Freedom March. Be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Praise the Lord. My spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, will begin the show by reading
a very powerful scripture, Mr. Monka.
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
It's something for all of us to think about, because the Bible here is dealing with, partiality.
Yes.
And you won't be able to see me, Mr. Monka, because the lights just went out. But I just want to read something quickly here, taken from James chapter 2.
Yes.
And I'll be reading this from the ESV, which is the English Standard Version. Listen to this very carefully, Mr. Monka. My brothers, show no partiality as you hold the faith in our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory. For if a man wearing a gold ring and fine clothing comes into your assembly, and a poor man in shabby clothing also comes in, and if you pay attention to the one who wears the fine clothing and say, you, sit here in this good place, while you say to the poor man, you stand over there and sit at my feet, have you not then made distinctions among yourselves and become judges with evil thoughts? Listen, my beloved brothers, has not God chosen those who are poor in the world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom, which he has promised to those who has loved him? But you have dishonored the poor man. Are not the rich the ones who oppress you and the ones who drag you into court? Are they not the ones who blaspheme the honorable name by which you were called? James chapter 1, verses 1 through 7. Very, very powerful scripture, Mr. Monica. So we got to be careful when we get to the point where we show partiality as relates to people with poverty and then people with riches. Christianity does not operate in that fashion.
Well, my spiritual advisor, I want to thank you for reading such a powerful scripture today.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, today is Friday. It is the 12th of January, 2017. Yesterday, the Supreme Court was officially declared open for this new session. And there were a number of members who comprises the judicial system speaking to us. We heard the address from the acting Chief Justice, Stephen Isaacs. As you are aware, in December of 2017, the then Chief Justice, Sir Hartman Longley, demitted office. So there's no Chief Justice. And an FNM, in a foolish manner, appointed what they call an acting Chief Justice. You better change this light and give me that other light, man. Because I had you could see me on TV. Go and bring that other light back. So, we have no Chief Justice. But yet these Negroes tell me that there's an acting Chief Justice. And if there is an acting Chief Justice, who is the Chief Justice? Who is Mr. Isaacs acting for? You see how they don't like me? Because I would think that if you're going to open the Supreme Court, you should open with a Chief Justice. And if there is an acting Chief Justice, we should be told who the acting Chief Justice is acting for. That's what I think. So I'm insulted that the FNM, having the first opportunity to name a Chief Justice since the election of May 10th, 2017, comes up with what they call an acting Chief Justice. Who is Mr. Isaac acting for? Who is he acting for? I think they're making a joke and a mockery. But I don't know if I can expect anything better from Dr. Huberman, the Prime Minister, and his new Attorney General, Carl Bettel. I just hope they would clear this up and stop creating embarrassment for me, because I don't want to run on. Sometime when you talk, the courts become extremely sensitive, and the next thing you know, they drag you before the court and they kick you in your pants. But I would think that somebody needs to offer me an explanation. Why is it that there is an acting Chief Justice when there is no Chief Justice? Anyway, I can leave it to y'all. Since y'all think y'all smarter than everybody else, I'll leave it to y'all. Now, for those of you who may not have seen the Tribune, yes, I want you to know that in order for the judicial system to function effectively, the law makes provision, particularly in the cases of murder, to impanel a 12-man jury. And, of course, where there is no murder, the F&M has amended the Jury Act, whereby the jury will be comprised of 9 people. I never supported that. I always believe that the jury should continue to comprise of 12 citizens. So I want to let you know that in today's Tribune, this is the jury list. I want you all to go through the jury list, and I want you to get ready to serve. All right? All kind of people is on the jury list. So you should get the jury list to make sure if your name is there. Okay? Now there are 1 or 2 scallywags whose name is on the jury list. I don't want them on the jury list. But I've decided that I'm going to keep quiet, because it is dangerous in the Bahamas to let them know how smart you are. They do things to you. So I ain't going to let nobody know, but there are a couple of scallywags here who should not be on the jury list. They should not sit in judgment. But members of the public, upon examining the jury list, if there are anyone that you have strong reservation or objection to, you can write them. You can write the authorities and object. And then, of course, if there are citizens who has good reasons why they are unwilling to serve on the jury, you can also go in and let them know why you think. But outside of that, I will recommend that if you are a fair and impartial citizen, you should serve on the jury. I used to serve on the jury, you know. I haven't served on the jury since 1989. And when they sent for me, I was so excited to serve on the jury. And the last time I served, the woman who is now the former Chief Justice and the former President of the Court of Appeal, Her Ladyship, Dame Joan Sawyer, she was the presiding judge, and I was the foreman of the jury, and I worked with the court and heard a case, and justice was done. I'm not going to talk about the case. I could, but I will not. So get the jury list and participate. Because the only way the judicial system is to function efficiently as it relates to criminal matters is to have a good jury pool. Okay? And once you become a jury, you are to obey the court. And you're not to compromise. You're not to allow people to bribe you or try to influence you outside the court. Any influence on the jury must be done while the panel is sitting and the rule of law is being established. I read in the paper today where a judge says that they don't want, my words. Too much stupid people, my words, commenting on the judiciary. I always believe that the citizens who pay the judges must have a right to comment on judicial matters. It's like how I'm displeased that the F&M has appointed Justice Stephen Isaac as acting Chief Justice when I don't know who he acting for. See, I always thought if you're acting Prime Minister, then there's a Prime Minister. If you are acting Attorney General, then there is a person who is holding the position. But for the F&M to give me an acting Chief Justice and there's no Chief Justice, something tell me that is not right. So, 2 Sundays ago, I went to have breakfast with the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram. And when members of his Praetorian Guards were not watching, I leaned over to him and I said, Papa, what this is? That we have an acting Chief Justice when I don't know who the Chief Justice is. And I complained to Papa, and I complained to Papa, and I complained. That is as far as I shall go today. But I raised the issue, not with Hubert Alexander Minnis. I raised it with Hubert Alexander Ingram. Now, one of the reasons why I'm not going to tell you what Papa say, because I wasn't pleased with what Papa say. So since I wasn't pleased with what he say, I'm going to keep my displeasure to myself. Because I thought Papa was siding with the system. And I didn't want Papa to side with the system. I wanted Papa to take the revolutionary position that I took. But let these people do as they see fit. My spiritual advisor, do you wish to comment on that aspect? Or shall I continue to follow justice?
You've made comments on this before. What do you want the government to do?
I want the government to be intelligent and appoint a Chief Justice. Okay. Huh? When you have an acting Attorney General, an acting Chief Justice, an acting Prime Minister, somebody playing the role, it means that there is a star. Do you understand my spiritual advisor?
All right, okay.
What the heck this is? That we could start the criminal session with an acting
Chief Justice.
It almost suggests that the F&M is attempting, it almost suggests.
Be careful,
That the F&M is attempting to finger.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't do that though, Mr. Monica.
But I can't. I'm only saying what it suggests to me. I'm saying the F&M is wrong. That's all I'm saying. Fix your mic. That is all that I'm saying. I don't like it. Because justice must flow.
Like a mighty river.
And there must be no perception that someone is trying
to manipulate justice,
to touch her. Be careful now. These judges don't mess around.
Yeah, well, you're not being careful.
I mean, I'm not being careful. I'm being careful. I've been careful all my life.
Okay.
Huh? I'm only saying how it looks.
Chief Justice is coming forward with, man.
Man, there must be a Chief Justice now. All right? Chief Justice now. But let's leave that alone. You want to comment on it?
No. Let's move.
Okay, but let's go on a little
let's
further.
move on. Yeah.
Now, the CJ says that he wants the courts, the magistrate court, he wants the power to grant bail.
Back to the magistrate court.
Back to the magistrate.
Makes a lot of sense.
Why does it make sense?
Well, you know what happened in the past. A few months ago, we had some individuals who were placed before the court, and maybe one of them may have had to spend a night in jail because the magistrate didn't have the power to grant bail. You know, you're trying to avoid stuff like that. I think that's the basic issue there.
But he went one step further. He said, while the magistrate could not grant bail, the police could.
Okay.
Isn't that powerful? Huh? That loophole was not closed. Don't mind, the magistrate couldn't.
The police could.
The police could. Man is powerful. So he wants that to close. You think it should be closed?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well,
because, you know, some people are inconvenienced as a matter because of that. You know, here it is.
What do you mean inconvenience? You're
Well,
charged with an offense.
Right, and then you can
when
apply
you
for
are charged with an offense, inconvenience is the last thing we think about. What the heck do you think this is? But inconvenience.
But here it is. Well, let me ask a question. Unless the Bail Act is going to be
Listen, my
revamped.
light too dark. I hardly can see the spiritual advisor.
Well,
in the
I'm a
studio.
dark person. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
reality.
I need plenty light, my spiritual advisor. I hardly can see you.
Yeah. Let's not worry about that. Let's move on.
I'm going to have to put on 2 reading glass. Go ahead.
But unless the Bail Act is going to be revamped, Mr. Monka.
Yes.
Yeah, don't damage your eyes now.
Okay. Go ahead.
But I mean, okay, well, it makes sense to do that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What makes sense?
Let's bring the power back to the magistrate court for the magistrate to be able to grant bail.
Okay.
Let's bring it back.
You like the idea?
It makes sense.
Okay.
I'm sure that everybody agrees with that.
All right.
With what? You don't?
Huh?
It's convenient.
It's more convenient.
Yes.
Okay.
It makes a lot of sense. Isn't that what the Attorney General is going to agree to happen as well?
This is what the CJ is calling
Okay,
for.
the Chief Justice. Okay.
Well, you can't say Chief Justice. He's not the Chief Justice.
But it doesn't say ACJ.
Don't. That's because the person who wrote the guidance headline is not well educated.
Wow.
He's not the Chief Justice.
They're as smart as you.
He is the ACJ.
Yeah.
What that stands
The
for?
acting Chief Justice.
What he is?
He's the acting
The
Chief
acting
Justice.
Chief Justice. Lord,
Yep.
it's the acting Chief Justice. Folks, I can't tell you what I'm doing, but I'm having fun. When I come back, we're going to look at what Dame Joan Sawyer says about the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. But I want Minister ignore her and expunge the records. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. As expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Welcome once again, Bradley.
Thank you, Mr. Monker. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at the opening of the Supreme Court yesterday and many speeches that were made. Before we return to the Supreme Court, I would like to look at a call by a bishop from the southern part of the island, Bishop Simeon Hall, in which he tells the media that he would like for the government, and particularly Prime Minister Hubert Minnis, to expunge criminal convictions. I don't know why the learned bishop and other senior government officials are unaware that there exists already provision for the expungement of certain categories of criminal offenses. I think it was around 1981, maybe 82. But in the early 80s, where the Progressive Liberal Party made provision that certain categories of criminal offenses will be expunged automatically after 7 years. So if you were caught and charged, let's say for stealing sapodillas, and you were convicted, well, in 7 years' time, if you remain law-abiding and get no other conviction, your record is expunged. Now, before the 7 years, if you commit another offense, well, you start all over. And then there is another category of criminal offenses where in 14 years, those offenses will be automatically expunged. So the law makes provision for this already. So take, for instance, the F&Ms, who Dr. Minnis led over Paradise Island and stood there when they tore down the fence. When they are convicted, if they are convicted, in 7 years' time, there will be no record. So I don't know what is all this talk about that everybody's running on with. Simeon Hall is running on with. Listen, if you do small crime, it's 7 years. You do another category of crime, it's 14 years. But there are certain criminal offenses, the law makes no provision for it. You can't bring in all that grass. You're smuggling tons of marijuana, cocaine, LSD, quaaludes. Then you are convicted. That is an expunge. That will remain with you until Jesus comes. And if the government moves after you have demonstrated that you have changed your wicked ways, the government may grant a pardon. However, that process is done. Now we know that Minnis is revolutionary in his thinking. It was Minnis who took the people over to Paradise Island Bridge. It was Minnis who incited them to do what they did. So Minnis is right to say to them, listen to me, if they convict you, I'm going to expunge it. Now Dame Joan Sawyer, she think he's ignorant. But she said to the media that if Jehovah could use a donkey, he could use Minnis. That's what she said. I was so offended when she said that. I knew she was playing class, but that's what she said. Now, she is upset over the fact that Minnis, who she think is ignorant, Minnis ain't ignorant. Minnis is prime minister. No ignorant man becomes prime minister in the Bahamas. Minnis is a smart man. He knows exactly what he's doing. And all he has done is told the PLP. He wasn't talking to the court, you know. Minnis called on Alison Maynard when she was the Attorney General to stop the case. Alison ignored her. But Carl should listen to him and do what Minnis say. Minnis want the charges to be dropped. And Minnis is the head of the executive. He wasn't talking to the courts, as Dame Joan Sawyer is suggesting. He was talking to Alison Maynard. And Alison ignored him. Now he must speak to Carl. I with Minnis. I think it's a wonderful day in the country that a man who leads the opposition could get you to break the law. destroy public property, and then promise you, listen, when we get in charge, we can clean your record. Man is powerful. I don't know if I should call it gangsterism. Perhaps I won't call it gangsterism. It smacks of it, though, that you can say, broke the law. Break the law. Break it. Don't worry about them. When I take over, when we come to power, we are going to expunge it. Man is powerful. Don't mind. Tearing down the fence is a criminal offense. We, the F&M, we tell you to do it. And by grab, when we grab power. Oh, when we grab power. So, ministers, it's time to act. It's time to act. And the people, them, don't mind what they say, ministers. Say, ministers ignorant. Ministers is not ignorant. What kind of ignorant man? Ministers ain't ignorant. Ministers understand precisely what he is doing, and he understand raw political power. And I say, ministers should ignore Dame John Sire. He should ignore Carl Bettel. Because the argument that Carl Bettel advanced, that in the next couple of days, the DPP will be the principal person to grant Nolle is not true. That ain't true. What are the facts? The Attorney General is the constitutional authority to grant it. He or the law may delegate that authority to the Director of Public Prosecution. But even in that law, provisions are made for the Attorney General to direct him to issue a nolle prosequi. There is a story that we must constantly repeat so that we can recognize the level of gangsterism in our country. Who introduced nolle prosequi in modern times in the Bahamas? It was the F&M. The F&M did it. Let's not forget. It was the F&M who did it. Remember? John Moscow. They gave him a nice, juicy little nolle. And to make sure nobody could row, they gave another man a nolle. So nolle prosequi is not an immoral act if applied properly. Because there are times when the courts or the government must grant a nolle. But Carl Bettel, under the Constitution, he don't abdicate that responsibility, you know. And I want you all to be honest, man, because I don't want to run on. All right? I don't want to run on. So I maintain that there's nothing wrong with a nolle if the nolle is done legitimately. My spiritual advisor, all kind of nolle, right? And what is happening here is that this commissioner of police has not been properly trained. If this was Grain Slade, who was commissioner of police, right? He would know immediately to drop them charges because that's what the F&M want. Somebody will have to tell this commissioner of police. What is the name of the commissioner of police?
That's, is it Ferguson? Yeah, Anthony Ferguson.
Anthony Ferguson. Don't you?
Yeah, but don't get in that, man.
What do you mean I don't get in? What don't get in? I'm merely discussing.
Jump on the man, say he wasn't properly trained.
As it relates to this skullduggery.
But
if Grain Slade was commissioner of police, Grain Slade would have been politically savvy to drop the charges.
Yeah, but Grain Slade trained Ferguson.
Huh? So, Anthony Ferguson, the F&M want these charges to drop. I ain't saying you must drop it. But that's what the party wants. That's what they want. That's what the big row is. Because if this was not a game, the learned magistrate would have issued a summons and summons everybody who were publicly calling for these kind of things to happen. Because this is what I call sub-judice. What is this called, my spiritual advisor?
Sub-judice.
Sub-judice. And I want y'all to stop it. Or I'm going to complain to the acting Chief Justice. But I don't like how the F&M have him as acting. And I have to be careful what I say. Because they may say I am being in contempt. But Nolle prosequi. The F&M started that. The party in opposition is reported to have made millions of dollars in opposition. But nobody produced the evidence. And I haven't had a chance to speak to Papa about it because Papa was in charge of the government. And I know one thing about Hubert Alexander Ingram. He's not corrupt. He'll not do corrupt things. His men may be corrupt. But Papa is never corrupt. So I find all of this is interesting, and how the Attorney General, in his ignorance, this is the man who Prime Minister Perry Christie promised him and Dr. Minnis that they will allow both of them to examine the files. Then a Nolle was granted to Alison Maynard's client. Now Carl Bettel is telling us that there's a substantial decline in the issuance of nolles by the Attorney General, as if Nolle prosequi is something good that should be happening in the system. But these are powerful people. And when you question them, they find means to use the system against you. I just thought I would mention that because I saw him and Alison Maynard. Where were they? They were in the church. And as I saw him and Alison Maynard, that wonderful PLP Attorney General, it became clear to me that Alison Maynard and Carl Bettel are like two peas in one pot. The only problem is, I don't know. I don't know. I better not say that next word. Because Alison is case out, and Carl Bettel is my former lawyer. He's my former lawyer now. So I don't know what we are going to do. But I just thought, I can't see my clock, eh? I just thought that I would point out that the sins of a Nolle prosequi was started under the Free National Movement. And I want a commission of inquiry to be appointed to investigate the first Nolle. That's what I want. But they're not going to do it.
And don't bring up no old story, man.
What you mean don't bring up no old story?
Please, let sleeping dogs lie, man.
My spiritual advisor, you're not safe, you know.
Why you say that?
Huh?
Let sleeping dogs lie,
I just want to know.
man. But
because Carl say substantial decline in the issuance of nolles by the Attorney General.
By 60%.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, something is wrong. Is Carl not doing Nolle?
Oh, Lord.
And those F&Ms who were on Paradise Island Bridge, you all are right to demand from Dr. Minnis that he expunge your record, even though you all have not been convicted. Dame Joan Sawyer has pointed out that when Dr. Minnis told the nation that he intends to expunge the records, even though there were no convictions.
Yeah.
She said it was a clear message to the courts. But I asked the court to stand its ground. I asked the court to stand its ground, but that's what Dame Joan Sawyer said. That there is this position where Minnis is telling the court, I don't care what y'all do. Convict these men, I'm expunging the record. So I say, let's have a draw and just let the man go. And nobody can say that I'm being contemptuous. Can't be call me contemptuous, but the Attorney General spoke, and Dr. Minnis spoke true. His learned public relation man, Asa Newbold. Asa said, Minister is serious. And whenever the courts do a conviction, the Prime Minister will live up to his word and expunge the record.
But the Attorney General has the power to stop that now if he wants to. And he doesn't have to answer anybody because he has an office all to himself.
Of course. Two people can stop it. The Commissioner of Police who brought the charges can withdraw.
They have the power to do it?
Of course.
Okay.
All right. And then, of course, the Attorney General could supersede.
Yeah, man.
Right?
He doesn't answer anybody. He can do it.
How you mean he doesn't answer?
Not the AG. That office is all by itself. He has the
Listen,
power.
who appointed him Attorney General?
The PM.
Who appointed him a senator?
The PM.
Well, whoever appoint him can revoke his appointment. Don't talk about nonsense.
Interfering with the office.
You heard what I just said?
He could
You heard what I just said? I'm 61.
That's how it go?
And at 61, I have produced the story where, what the man named? Cassius Stewart and Omar Smith were charged. And by grab when Christie and the PLP came to power, what do you think happened? All charges were dropped. Don't mind what they're saying. Minister knows what he's doing. He knows that Christie has that power, and he has it too. Minister, I with you on this one. Don't listen to Dame Jones, sire. I say forward march, because it's you who send them over the bridge. You who told them that the people who own that land were wrong. You can't let your boys them down now. Other than that, they're going to lose confidence. Minister, don't listen to them. You're not an ignorant man. You are a politician. You know exactly what you're doing. And I support you. Whatever you can do to save those supporters, you save them. Don't listen to Dame Jones Sawyer. She has already had her run. All right? Don't listen to her. It's your time, Minister. You're the big man in town. It's you who lead them over the bridge. It's you who caused them to get themselves in trouble. And a promise is a promise. You are a revolutionary Prime Minister. You think I'm giving him good advice?
I assume so, Mr. Monka.
Do you support me, my spiritual advisor?
I assume so, Mr. Monka.
This is powerful. Let's see what Dame Jones Sawyer says. In fact, to say that if you go to court and you are convicted, and I will wipe the record clean, is to tell the court, don't waste your time, don't hear the case. Well, Dame Jones Sawyer, if that's what the Prime Minister meant, tough luck. What y'all gonna do? Huh? If he's telling the court, if you convict them F&Ms and the DNA, I can wipe it clean. Huh? I don't want nobody to believe me for just repeating what she said. You know, Minister is a revolutionary. And he came to power. And he made a promise. And he has the means by which he can do it. Two ways. The Commissioner of Police withdraw the charges, because it is the Commissioner of Police who produced those charges. The charges were never commenced by the Office of the Attorney General. The police needed know what the law called fiat. They didn't need a fiat. They have no fiat. The law makes no provision to get or to obtain what they call a fiat. There's a certain category of cases where you need a fiat from the Attorney General. But it's a bunch of dishonesty taking place and a bunch of games taking place. Menace must free the men. Because a promise is a promise, and that's it. And those who say that Menace should not talk about the law, they're dumb. Menace is the chief lawmaker. He's the chief lawmaker. And when you are a lawmaker, you can discuss the law. You can analyze the law. You can suggest means by which you can improve the law. And I think men should stick with the boys. Can't take them over the bridge. Broke down the man property. Now they run the risk of going to jail. And now they turn to their leader. So, oh, Mr. Leader, you took us across. We carried out the political action. Now you're listening to other people. When ministers called early that morning, Dame Joan Sawyer never went to the Paradise Island Bridge. She never marched with ministers, you know. She marched with Han Field and Janet Bosbeck and John Bosbeck. That's who she marched with. She ain't marched with ministers over the bridge. And those who march with ministers has the duty to save them from jail. I don't care what nobody say. I'm prepared to listen to what others say. But of course, ministers, they're ministers' boys. And ministers should do it. Now, I see on the front page where it says in the Tribune that the Prime Minister wronged to promise protesters. But ministers did it. And every time ministers promised the people them something, they supported ministers. And ministers win. So let's see what this is that I'm saying. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis cannot on one hand insist he has a pro-tolerance approach to crime, while at the same time promise to absolve the criminal liability of a group of men who protested at Cabbage Beach in 2016, resulting in damage to private property. PLP leader Philip Brave Davis said yesterday. But Mr. Davis, it was ministers who caused it. You see, if ministers took the people over there and they destroy the property, oh, Mr. Davis, shouldn't ministers get them off? Because don't forget now, the police failed to arrest and charge ministers. They failed. Even though they knew that all material times ministers was the leader. They knew it. But they didn't charge him. They didn't charge him. But ministers incite the people. Ministers marched them over. Ministers knew that that was private property. All right? And therefore, ministers has a moral duty. But the leader of the opposition in this country is pointing out that ministers cannot say he is opposed to criminal activities, and now he's prepared to tolerate his boys when they break the law. Man is powerful. As he castigated the Prime Minister, Philip Brave Davis castigated the Prime Minister, the Progressive Liberal Party leader said the Free National Movement has very often failed to separate political rhetoric from reality. This, he said, weaves a complicated web that is hard to get out of. Minnis is caught in a quagmire of web. And that's what Philip Brave Davis is pointing out. But I want Mr. Davis to remember, it was Minnis who led these men into this web. And Minnis, therefore, has to deal with it. Mr. Davis said if he were in Dr. Minnis' shoes, Mr. Davis said he should not have taken the same approach. Instead, the Cat Island, Rumkey and San Salvador MP said he would have ensured he understood the situation in its entirety before making promises to absolve the men of any wrongdoing. Former Attorney General Alison Maynard Gibson also underscored that no Prime Minister has the power to discontinue a prosecution. Minnis, forward march. Don't listen to nobody. Freedom. You will have all the power.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. He's here with me in studio.
Absolutely.
Sac passé.
Napoli garçon, comment est?
Papi mal est ou même.
OK. Tout le gars est femme.
Sa ou tande, yon gros bateau ap vini ak ampil. Pep mwen yo. Pa di sa en anglais. Don't explain that in English.
No. Of course not.
Because I don't want Marvin Dames to know.
Okay.
Folks, I was reading a little from the Nassau Guardian or the Tribune about this whole talk about Nolle prosequi. And it's interesting because the opposition leader is pointing out that ministers made a faux pas. Notwithstanding what the opposition leader is saying, the former Attorney General, Alison Maynard Gibson, is also pointing out that a prime minister does not have this power. And then, of course, a clever Attorney General, Carl Bettel, suggests that in a couple of days, the Director of Public Prosecution will have this power exclusively, but that is not the truth. Notwithstanding that there has been an amendment to give whoever this person emerges to hold that office of DPP the power. The Attorney General will not have abdicated the responsibility because there are circumstances in which the law says he can direct the Director of Public Prosecution. So the power still is retained in the Attorney General. All right? I just want to point that out. This slick talk. All right? And so the whole question of the Bahamas government giving out Nolle prosequi should go to a Royal Commission of Inquiry. I want it to be investigated because I know this mess was first started under the F&M. I know it. And I know corruption when I smell it. So let's look at the fact that Mr. Davis, the leader of the opposition, has suggested that the means by which Menace will achieve his objective to expunge records is to send the matter to the Royal, let me call it correctly, to the Prerogative Committee of Mercy, which is headed by Marvin Dames. Now let's take into consideration the gangster talk taking place here. There is no conviction, you know. The men have not had any evidence laid against them. Watch what is taking place. The matter is before a court. No evidence has been adduced. No one came to testify against them. But the F&M is discussing prematurely how to get them off. It's like if you were aiding and abetting them to escape from the law. That's what's going on here. So everybody's discussing how we can get them off. Then the opposition join and say you can only get them off if it goes to Marvin. And I say it can't go to Marvin because nobody got convicted. But the talk continues as they starve justice in her most vital parts. That's what the F&M is doing, you know. The F&M has a dagger and justice. They're going to stab her in her most vital parts. That's what's going on here. This talk is what I call corrupt talk. No evidence. No evidence laid against them, but they're talking about how to get them off. When I believe that that is not the approach. But the FNM is in charge of the country. And Carl Bettel is the Attorney General, and he's smart. Menace is the Prime Minister, and he's smart. Marvin James is more, well, I have to be careful how I say it. Not that Carl Bettel is not honest. Carl is honest, but Marvin is more honest. I hope I can get away with that. I'm not saying anything to impugn Carl's reputation. Listen to how Marvin said it. He says, when it comes, boy, this is beautiful, to the Royal Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy, if that's what the Prime Minister wants, we gonna grant it. Now, can't blame Marvin. Marvin is a young man. He don't remember some of the cases that has been made about the function of the prerogative of mercy. But I ain't gonna tell them. Because Marvin should not have said, if this is what the Prime Minister wants, we can give. That's a little immature. Marvin should have said, when it comes to the Royal Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy, we shall look at the facts. And if the facts bear out mercy, we will grant mercy. Excuse me. That is what he should have said. But he says, if that's what the Prime Minister wants, the Prime Minister will get it. But that ain't what the court case say. But I can tell them, you know. I don't want them to know that I remember how a convicted murderer challenged how the Prerogative Board of Mercy dealt with the thing. And how the white people in England said, natural justice didn't apply. But I can leave them alone. They're smarter than me, you know. But Marvin should not have said it that way. He should have kept that in his heart. And then when it comes, you just give him what he wants. And you find some legal argument to justify it. You know? But that's the way they do it. But all of this is corruption if they don't be careful. And I want all the young people who don't have the same political contact and connection. Let's get ready now. Because once ministers start expunging records for their boys, their political supporters, you, the people them, you deserve the same opportunity. Are you living in Marvin Dame's constituency? He's the chairman of the Prerogative Board of Mercy. All of y'all who had them criminal records for years. Don't be no fool. Make your application to the government to have your record expunged for the court to grant, for the government to grant clemency. I just don't feel like running on. I don't want to say how all of this smell like corruption. That may not be a good thing to say. It may not. But Marvin say, if the PM wants it, we're going to have to do it. At least he's honest in expressing those views.
Mr. Monka, I don't agree with what you're saying because you're the one who told people to come on the beach. No one showed up. You said that Bama will not open. You prayed for it to be washed over the bar. You, Rodney, are so wrong. You say people lose, you're wrong. You, Rodney, say Frankie will be gone. Frankie's still here. Everybody knows that everything you say is not correct. Good day.
May I read a text?
Go ahead.
Mr. Monka, the government should change Majority Rule Day to National Rule Day. Mr. Monka, Jerusalem belongs to Israel. Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. Mr. Monka, Trump is right about Jerusalem and Israel. Article 73, paragraph 3 of the Constitution should be amended that the Attorney General should not be in the upper or lower house of Parliament in agreement with Article 42 paragraph 1D, and Article 42, paragraph 2. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Nah, that's it. I don't have any more here. No more up-to-date text here.
There's no more text?
No.
Well, I have a text that says to me, blessed night. Blessed night to you.
Hold on. Let me see. I think I just got one more. Mr. Monica, I think the election... Oh, sorry. That's all right. That's a replay. Somebody just sent the same text again.
Okay.
Is your phone on the floor?
If my phone is on the what?
Floor. You have a caller?
Goodness me, the person sent me this again. Mr. Monica, I live East Street South and my garbage was not collected for over 3 weeks. Send me the name of your MP or fax him. Send me the name of your MP. Your garbage should be collected. All right? Send me the name of your MP.
Your phone caller.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello? Goodness.
Do you have the Guardian?
If I have the Guardian?
It is Guardian, yes.
Yes, I do.
Could you turn to the back page of the Guardian?
The back page of the Guardian. Quickly, I have, yes. Yes. I'm looking at the back page.
Do you see the headline from Trump?
Yes, I see it. Trump, why allow immigrants from, this is a dirty word, I can't curse that word, countries, but he has denied it. He said, he never said it, and I accept his words.
But he have his own people who was in the room said he said it.
Listen to me. He has denied it. Let's assume for a second that he said it. Let's assume that. But he has denied it. And when a man denies an allegation, do not push his back against the wall. He's denied it. He said it ain't true. I accept his word. Okay? Don't stop picking fuss with this man. The man said he didn't say it. Now let's leave that alone. Okay? Got somebody else on the phone. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello? Listen. Trump say he didn't say it. See, I may say something, and then I'm confronted by people, and then I say, no, I didn't say it. You should allow me to go, since you were not present. I accept it. I believe Trump is a good man.
But Mr. Monica,
yes, my spiritual advisor.
If he denies saying it, right? Why would responsible men from both sides of the government in the USA trump lies on the president?
You like the word you use?
It doesn't make any sense, though. Why would they do that?
What would you say? Why would they trump?
Up lies.
Up lies.
On the president.
What it is. It's Trump up lies. He says he didn't say it. Listen to me. If a man is accused and the man denies it, let the man go. In this context, I accept it. What else did you hear that the president say? He said he didn't say it. People said he said it, but he denied it.
The whole,
now what are we going to do?
The United States media disagrees with you.
Listen to me. The media was not present.
The whole United States media disagrees with you, Mr. Monica.
Like Donald. That's all. He said he didn't say it. He may have said it, but he denied it. And once a man said, listen, it wasn't me.
He's probably not regretting it, he said.
Man, Donald needs not regret because
that could be the issue.
A button on his table. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall
make America white again.
Oh, spiritual advisor, stop being racist.
I'm racist.
Yeah. I want you to make the Bahamas black.
Make America white again.
Hello?
Hang up and then dial your operator.
I don't want to hear from the operator. Stop picking on Trump. Hello?
Okay.
Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Hi. What's on your mind?
How you doing?
Listen, I'm struggling with my spiritual advisor.
That's okay. You can hold yourself. Don't let them put you in trouble.
Okay.
Okay. I'm calling from Freeport. I want to send a happy birthday out to Eleanor Thompson. That's one of the women names.
Eleanor Thompson. She's one of the women name. This is powerful.
Oh, yeah. She's ready to march.
She's ready to march.
Oh, yeah.
This is powerful. I have to come down.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, have a good one, brother.
I thank you, my love.
Okay, sweetie.
And I give a shout out to Tyrone Anderson and Shane Wilson. They work at Valentine's on Harbour Island. And then Tinker Hicks at Personal Shout, at Personal Touch at Harbour Island. Shout out. Hello. Welcome to Freedom. My love.
How you doing, Mr. Monica?
Listen, I am struggling. What's on your mind?
I also want to say hello to the spiritual advisor.
Hi, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good. I haven't called y'all for a little while.
Okay.
But I want to say I've been listening with a lot of interest, and I really wanted to call from yesterday.
Okay.
But everyone knows that Mr. Donald Trump is a known liar. I hate to say it like that, but there are so many recorded incidences of him telling fibs in the news. And I don't think an honorable congresswoman or man will come out with their personnel, a Democrat, to say exactly what he said. And now the leader of the Republican Party is really believing that Mr. Donald Trump did say it. And he is not a man that he will apologize. And Mr. Trump should not really be supported. He is a racist, in my opinion. And I'd like for us to not support him, and, you know, him trying to say that this country has so many problems that people should not travel here. When they do, they should be so aware of their surroundings anywhere you travel.
Do you understand why it was said about the Bahamas?
Pardon?
Do you understand why it was said?
Yes, because we did not support him.
And that's the price you pay the man. Say, listen, you don't support me?
That's not a price. He is a man like a vendetta.
Listen to me. You know the man have vendetta. So if he says, you don't support me, don't ask me for nothing.
No, but we have to stand up as a country.
Okay, let's stand up.
We are a sovereign country.
And no tourists will go to Harbour, to, what the place name?
Fish Fry.
Fish Fry. All right? Stand up. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. So let me do this shout out again. Tyrone Anderson and Shane Wilson at Valentine's on Harbour Island. I salute you. And then, of course, Tinker Hicks at Personal Touch at Harbour Island. A shout out to you. Listen, the President of the United States has denied the allegations. What the heck you want me to do? If the President came out and say, yeah, I say it, I would have then turned to my spiritual advisor and say, let's encourage the Haitian to come to the Bahamas.
So we just get a text here that says, Senator Lindsey Graham just confirmed that Trump said that, yes, he did say what he's accused of saying.
Yes, I heard what that man has said, but I told you that the Donald deny it. Now, what you want me to do? There are people who say things, and when confronted, they deny it. That itself tells me we should allow them to escape. So what we going to do? What you want me to do if Donald say he don't want that dirty word that the Nassau Guardian got on its back page? Huh? What you want me to do?
Get some
what you want
text.
me to do? You don't want no Haitian to come here.
Don't say that, Mr. Monica.
You don't want no Haitian to come here.
No, don't say that. Don't
Do you want Haitian to come here?
Don't do that, Mr. Monica.
My spiritual advisor. Because if you want them to come.
I don't support any illegal landings of any country.
And Donald don't want no illegal people in America.
No, that ain't what he said.
What is he saying?
That ain't what he said.
Tell me what he said.
He said something totally different.
Anyway.
Listen, don't forget now, Donald Trump has always made this statement. And then you have to ask yourself, when did America cease from being great? He says we're going to make America great again.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
You know, what does that mean? What does that entail?
I don't know.
What is he talking about?
I don't know. I'm concerned about what Menace is talking about.
Every country has their immigration rules and policies. I mean, the United States is no different from any other country.
You look like my people.
But what are you saying?
But you don't want them here.
I tell you what Donald Trump is saying, in my opinion, that listen, if we're going to make America great, then we're going to have to look at migrants who can help with this effort. People from Haiti and
Lord,
certain African countries just can't do it.
they have
I
been
think that's what he meant.
Unnecessary American politics. I'm only concerned about Arawaki. Tough luck. The
We're
man
gonna
say,
make America white again.
well, ain't nothing wrong with having some white people in America.
Well, all in America is white people, eh?
That is not true.
18%.
There are lots of Negroes
Blacks.
playing white in America. Donald, hold on.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. My name is Rodney Monker, and Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Bradley, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mr. Monker. Doing great.
Let me start off by giving a shout out to Mr. International, Dion Delancey. Dion, sac passe. And then, of course, his young son, Gabriel. Gabriel, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time, Gabriel. I hope that you are still one of the children there. I received a text moments ago where a citizen has been complaining that they reside on East Street South, and for the last 3 weeks, the government of the Bahamas has not moved their garbage. And I said to the citizen, what is the name of your member of parliament? Well, the citizen has texted me, and they have identified that their member of parliament is the agricultural minister, my spiritual advisor, who is the F&M minister responsible for agriculture.
That's Wells, eh?
What is his full name?
Renwood Wells, yeah.
The Honorable Renwood Wells, your constituent, is complaining over the fact that for the last 3 weeks, the garbage has not been collected. Now, you are aware that we have been experiencing lots of rain. And once you have garbage and rain water, the mosquitoes are going to settle in. You know what happened the last time we had lots of rain? Mosquito, and then the mosquitoes start making dengue fever. So I want you to please go and move the garbage, Minister, before I have to come and move it and bring it to your office. Okay? So please do it, Minister. I don't have to case you out next week. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Mr. Monker.
My love.
How are you on spiritual advisor?
They were doing great. How about yourself?
Mr. Monker, no current was done Sunset Meadows off Cowpen Road from 1 o'clock today.
No current?
No current. No current yet.
That can't be true.
Yes, sir.
The F&M in charge. You sure?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Who's your MP?
Reverend Juan Miller.
Reverend Juan Miller?
Yes.
Okay, I can't case him out because when they firebombed me, he called me and he said a little prayer. Reverend Juan Miller, I cannot case you out because of that wonderful prayer. But my brother, you need to go and get BC to cut on the light. Other than that, I'm going to have to case you out. The light's still off?
Down Sunset Meadows off Cowpen Road.
Down Sunset Meadows off Cowpen Road. The light's still off?
Still off.
Oh, no.
I'm missing the show, man. I'm missing your face. You and spiritual advisor.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to have to ask Sebastian to play this again when your light come on. You have any idea when you think the light will come on?
No, I don't have no idea.
BPL. Come on. What time is it? It's the people's time.
Okay, you all have a good evening.
You do the same. Have a great weekend.
Okay.
All right. Oh, Lord. The lights are off. My spiritual advisor,
we have some more text. Yeah, let me
text.
just read some more text.
Read text. Yes?
Good afternoon. Please tell Mr. Monk if he doesn't stop, he will cause all of us to eat grass in this young country. He keeps encouraging illegals that we can't afford to take care of to come to this country. We can't take all of them, Mr. Munker. Why is he encouraging Trump? Which country is he loyal to? He will lose his audience if he doesn't stop with this senseless thinking.
What is he talking about? What are they talking about? What do you understand that they mean? My spiritual advice, I'm talking to you.
Yes, you're talking about every time.
You mean the Haitian?
Yes.
Listen, I prefer that the Haitian come to the Bahamas than to go to America and get their feelings hurt. If they come to the Bahamas, they come in to the cousins, the family, my people, the Haitian people. All right? Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Hello? Well, nobody's answering me. Read text, my spiritual
Greetings,
advisor.
gentlemen. Greetings, gentlemen. Spiritual advisor, once again, you're correct. So, in your
I know, but the caller wouldn't answer. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Goodness of my seed.
Hi, how
Is
you
this
doing?
a boy or a girl?
This is a male.
Okay, go ahead.
I just wanted to know why. Okay. Is Trump being good to you, Mr. Munker?
Now, when you say good, what do you mean by that?
You're speaking very highly of him.
I prayed for Trump. I said, Lord, we need a man like Donald Trump.
But tell me something, right?
Right?
Why is it you cannot think that way about our Prime Minister?
You mean Dr. Minnis?
Yes, sir.
Well, how do you wish for me to think about him?
That's a good question, caller.
What you want me to do?
I listen to y'all talk, and this man is, from last year, this man been beating our Prime Minister down to the ground like he is not our Prime Minister.
What do you suggest I do?
Just have some respect for our Prime Minister.
Okay.
And Mr. Trump been doing plenty garbage, and you are on this show, this Island Luck show, talking so highly about Trump.
I think he's a wonderful man.
Up. How do you think about Mr. Minnis?
Listen, what would you like for me to think about Mr. Minnis?
But with your spiritual advisor is correct.
Okay.
And I agree with him.
And what do you agree with?
I agree with the things what he is saying. You're bashing,
I haven't bashed the Prime Minister in a long time.
I understand that.
Right.
But
All I want the Prime Minister to do...
Let's start, okay?
Okay.
Well, you all have a good day.
You have a great weekend too, man.
Have you seen Travis?
Yes.
Have you seen Travis?
I've seen Travis. Travis is doing a great job in being in Grantstown.
When is he going to move all that pile of garbage through that corner?
Oh, come on, Mr. Monka. You know he been cleaning up. The whole of Nassau know he been cleaning up.
Well, listen to me. Tell him I say, if you don't move that big mountain load of garbage, I'm going to bring it in Cable Beach where he live. Okay?
But the late Mr. Nolle, he didn't do twice as much.
We're going to hang up on you. Let the dead rest in peace.
Well,
and tell Travis,
Mr. Monka.
Tell Travis to go with the garbage. He said booyaka?
Shabuyaka.
How dare a young man like you curse out?
I need to tell you that, Mr.
Listen,
Monka.
I say boo! Yaka!
Shabuyaka.
With your ugly self. God forgive me.
I can talk to y'all later.
God forgive me for calling that man ugly. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Yes?
Yes, I'm a first-time caller.
You're a boy or girl?
I'm a woman.
Oh, talk to me, woman. I'm the leader of the woman
Yes, I'm
them.
one of the women them.
This is powerful. I have sugar for you. Go ahead, talk.
Good afternoon, spiritual advisor.
Yes, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm fine, and yourself?
I'm doing great.
What I'm calling about, the incident with the President of the United States.
Are you talking about the Donald?
Yes.
Okay, what about him?
I've been living over there quite a long time.
Okay.
And I've seen the difference between Mr. Trump's reign and the previous president.
Okay.
And what he has really said, it was true, because many of his followers and many of those who voted for him, they also disagree with his statement.
Okay.
His statement was made, but today they're supposed to have done some medical with him. I think something is wrong with him, but we have to pray for him. Because
now you have
things he
offered
said.
me a solution. If you think that the President of the United States might be going contrary, you can pray for him. But
Yes, we
listen
all
to
have
me,
to pray
I've
for him.
seen
And
his tweet.
And we also have to pray for you, because some things you say sometimes it's out of the ordinary.
Well, people know that I'm crazy, you know.
Oh, my.
I've been crazy since
No, well, we can't
Menace and
afford
the
to
F them came to power.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
My.
Pray for me.
I will do that.
For I am
Bye.
crazy.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye,
Have
sweetie.
a nice evening.
This is powerful.
Do the same. Bye-bye.
Do we have anybody else on the phone? No, spiritual advisor, do you have text?
Yeah, let me just read some text.
I don't know what y'all want me to say about the president. Have you seen the newspaper? The Minister of Foreign Affairs. What's his name? He says that the Americans are spying on us. All right? Did you see it? I don't know why they're upset or worrying.
And failed to
determine if U.S. spying has continued. Listen, I need the Americans to spy. I just need them to spy. By the Americans spying, it keeps me honest, keeps me honorable. I believe that they can hear me. I believe that the Americans can read my thoughts. So what do? I pray and sing wonderful things and drink V8 juice. If you drink V8 juice and you think pure, the Americans won't have you in. You know the world has changed. You think I got time to worry about if the Americans spying? Listen, see this cell phone? If you have the cell phone, the Americans can hear you. They can see you. So what do you think I do with these in the nighttime? I turn them upside down and I put the blanket on it. And then, of course, I think pure thoughts. And I sing a wonderful song. But if you are ordering rocks, you better don't order no rocks on these, because the Americans may think rock to be cocaine. So I don't order crack rock. I go straight to the fella and say, listen, I need a truckload of crack rock. He said, why you ain't called me? I said, the Americans may think I mean cocaine. And that's a long discussion. Don't worry about the Americans. They see everything. They have satellite in the sky. They could see us. All right? I went on American satellite to see if my first cousin, John, who lived on Market Street, had cleaned up the back of the yard. And when I went on that, I could see John raking it up. I couldn't believe that there was my first cousin raking up the back of the yard. So the Americans see things. I ain't got time to worry about that. Why you think I try to live a righteous life? Because the Americans are like Santa Claus. They see you and they know if you are good or bad. How does that sound, my spiritual
There's a caller.
Hello, caller.
Hi, Mr. Munker. How are you?
Listen, I'm fine. What's on your mind?
Good day to you and your spiritual advisor.
Hi, good afternoon. How you doing?
Mr. Munker.
Yes?
Mr. Menace, he is our Prime Minister.
He is.
I was listening to the caller that was somewhat bashing you for speaking against him or what have you. But
Yes.
my thing is this. He is the Prime Minister, but he is not exempted from constructive criticism.
That is true.
You have a right to voice your opinion. You have a right to speak against unfairness or things you are uncomfortable about.
That is true.
However, you also have a right to be respectful.
Of course.
Regardless whether he is the Prime Minister or not.
That is true.
You also have a right to be fair.
That is true.
Now, moving away from that.
Okay.
On to what you're talking about now with the American spying. Now, my understanding is that is the reason why the U.S. Embassy is being relocated. Do you know the Chinese owns the hotel opposite the U.S. Embassy?
Yes, I do.
What do you think about that? Have you heard anything as in relation to them moving because the Chinese built that building?
I've heard some talks, but you take it from me. The Americans are good chess players. If
So
the Chinese...
sometimes they can be unfair.
But listen to this. If the Chinese is spying on the Americans would know. And the Americans would be able to outspy the Chinese. If you go opposite the Hilton Hotel and look up in the sky. Each night, the Americans have 3 to 4 satellites. I just love going there to count them. Some nights I'm there looking up in the sky, and the cab drivers would ask me, what am I doing? I said, I'm counting American satellites.
So is that the reason why the U.S. Embassy is being relocated? Because
I am not sure. It might be that they have decided that they have a better deal. You know, they purchase a lot of land, and they're going to build a brand new embassy. Don't forget now, China just came and built a spinkadocious embassy. The Americans have been here, and they've never built an embassy. Maybe that's
but
what
you know,
it's
the Chinese, they are astute business people, and they're very thrifty with their money. They do good investment. They don't just make it; they invest it.
Okay.
So that's the big difference between them and the Americans.
Okay.
One last thing before we leave. Now, I noticed that you always putting Trump on this high pedestal.
Oh, I think he's a wonderful man.
What? Yeah, but my thing is this: he is wrong. He made some statement as relation to Haiti or what have you.
What did he say about Haiti?
Dead wrong.
What did he
So
say?
I don't want to endorse him for making such statements.
Oh, no! Listen to me. Trump has denied. You're not listening to me now.
For whatever reason, you love Trump, Mr.
Listen, I prayed for him. I said, Lord, America needs to be great again. I want the Donald. And God answered my prayer. So I have to learn to live and love it. I think he's a great man. He's not a perfect human being. And listen, everybody is talked bad in private about people. So if he said something that was not too kind, people do that.
But when you do it openly in an open forum, you have to be respectful. You have to be tactful.
He did not do it in an open forum. He had a
Close
number
meeting. Yeah.
of quiet meetings.
But what I'm
And
saying,
someone decided
To
that
leak it.
they're going to say what he said. But he has said that he didn't say it. Suppose I say that you are a pig and you expose me, and then publicly I deny it. You've won the battle. Let me go. Let me go.
Is she still there?
No, she understood and she bid me farewell.
She hung up on you.
Well,
If you'd like to...
yes, my spiritual advisor. Read
Get some
text.
text. What we worrying about Trump for, Mr. Munker? The
I don't
Bahamas
know.
needs to be fixed. So let's
love
stop
Donald.
worrying about Trump. Let's fix the
All I
Bahamas.
don't want Donald Trump to do is to tell the tourists them not to come to the Bahamas.
This ain't nothing new, Mr. Munker. The U.S. government has been sending advisory for years. Bahamians acting like this is something. It's nothing new, Mr. Munker. We can't get mad if you try to make America great again. Our wish is for leaders to make the Bahamas.
Mr.
Great again.
Munker, your spiritual advisors say a lot of things and deny it. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Blessings. Mr. Munker, why don't you go to Haiti? I think you would love it there.
Mr. Munker, I'm sending my sympathy to the Bo and Williams family, Zoe on Exuma, who will pay final respects to their sailor student son, Cameron Williams, tomorrow in Exuma, from all of the Womandam. And as leader of the Womandam, I extend my sympathies as well. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Munker and spiritual advisor. Mr. Munker, you were so wrong when you told the young man go with his ugly self. Please apologize to the young man.
Listen,
he has the right to his opinion.
I
That was not nice.
apologize for calling you ugly.
Okay, that's great. That's good. That's what it's all
I've
about.
sinned. I'm like Donald Trump.
Ask him to forgive
I
you.
say things, but, I didn't mean it.
Mr. Munker, the police reserve did not get paid from October.
Goodness of mercy, Marvin Dames, what's going on? Pay the reserve. October's a long time. All right? Please pay the policemen them, because late in the night, who do you think are waking the streets? It is officers who are confined to the police reserve. Please pay them. Go ahead.
Let's see here.
Good evening. Can you please tell Mr. Minnis the RAN need sheets? Dr. Minnis, I just got a text. The RAN Memorial Hospital in Freeport has run out of sheets. Would you please send some at least by tomorrow? Go ahead.
Mr. Munker, your boy is going to make America white again. And you ready to march against Mr. Trump, starting at the fish fry and then the Chinese embassy? Mr. Munker, I think you need to go back in a trance and tell Donald Trump his days are numbered. As a Catholic, Mr. Munker, I cry shame on you. No Republican money can ever fix this.
Listen, the President of the Republic warned small nations he needed their political support at the United Nations. This is hard. This is a hard game. Politics is not for soft men. It's a hard game. I need your support. If you don't give me your support, don't check for me. Don't ask me for nothing. Do you know what would have happened if we supported the Donald? This man used to own Paradise Island. Huh? This is a man who just promised Sidney Colley, the Bahamas ambassador to the UN, that he was willing to come to the Bahamas on a state visit. We've never had, as far as I know, outside of President John F. Kennedy, who came to a meeting in 1961, I think it was, and that was not a state event. The British were our colonial masters. But we have not had a sitting president to come to the Bahamas. And Donald Trump promised it. We should build on that. We should become his friends. He's here for 4 years. And the way things look, he shall win again. You ought to stop being stupid and learn to live with the big man in the village. Donald is the man, no matter what you think. And there is a certain category of American politics I don't want to get in. I don't want to get in it. That's for the Americans. And I think they have a wonderful time debating. What I'm concerned about is the fact that there's a number 2 advisory. That's serious. Because after 2 is 3. I'm concerned about that. Suppose the Donald wake up and press the tourism button again. And then tell the tourists them, don't go to Bahama. Huh? Or don't go to Paradise Island. We don't need that. Let's stop trying to get in big man them international politics. Because this ain't a real country. Don't make me get angry. All right? And we are only as independent, only as sovereign as the Americans allow us. We've seen the history of America where I think it was in 1934, some time ago, tout le monde haïtien. Est-ce que vous connaissez l'ère américaine a venu dans Haïti pour un pile année? All right? The Americans occupied. Huh?
Today's the anniversary of the Haitian earthquake.
Okay. The Americans occupied Haiti. All right? So let's be sensible. This is a fishing village. The United States is a superpower. What are the facts? Y'all ain't developed no industry. Y'all ain't concentrated on education and the sciences. So we depend on tourism. Don't be ashamed of it. Understand it. Get friendly with the United States and tell Donald Trump, send tourists. Because the Americans have over 300 million tourists living there. Spiritual Advisor Weekend is coming. Speak to my people. Tell them I don't want no crime. I don't want no murder.
More so, Mr. Monk, my dear brothers and sisters, how can you claim to have faith in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ if you favor some people over others? For example, suppose someone comes into your meeting dressed in fine clothes and expensive jewelry, and another comes in who is poor and dressed in dirty clothes. If you give special attention and a good seat to the rich person, but you say to the poor one, you can stand over there or else sit on the floor, well, doesn't this discrimination show that your judgments are guided by evil motives? Listen to me, dear brothers and sisters. Hasn't God chosen the poor in this world to be rich in faith? Aren't they the ones who will inherit the kingdom he promised to those who love him? But you dishonor the poor. Isn't it the rich who oppress you and drag you into court? and they're the ones who slander Jesus Christ, whose noble name you bear. Yes, indeed. It is good when you obey the royal law, as it is found in Scriptures. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Amen.
That's very powerful, Mr. Monica.
Our final text for the day comes from a justice of the peace. And it goes like this. I stand with you against the decriminalization of marijuana. No, no, no. And a big fat no. And he finally says, God save the Queen. My people, I call upon you this weekend to recognize that it's still a wonderful world and a wonderful country. Let us resist the temptation to break our laws, to commit murder and other serious criminal offenses. This weekend, let's surprise the police. Let's cooperate with them fully. And when they say to us, go left, we salute them and go left. And when they say to us, listen, don't break no laws, let's listen to the police. It's still a wonderful country. And of course, my spiritual advisor.
Yes, we're hoping everybody have a great and safe weekend, Mr. Monica.
This is powerful.
This is a weekend for friends, family, and of course, Acts 27, the first day of the week. Disciples are going to get together to break bread and remember what Jesus Christ did on the cross more than 2,000 years ago. That should be the central focus for everyone for this weekend. Acts 27.
Go to church, my people.
Meet with the Christians.
And I wish you peace. I wish you peace, love, and progress. This is Freedom Man.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
See you later.
Adios.
God save the Queen.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.